All right, guys, four in a row for the good guys. Seattle Sea Dragons moved to 4-2 with a win over the winless. So not a huge achievement, but nevertheless, that's why they play the game. Orlando Guardians. 26-19. I know I'm a little late with this video. I know the game was earlier today, but I didn't get a chance to push this video out until now. By the way, if you are watching this video shortly after its upload, I am probably live on Twitch right now streaming Resident Evil 4. So if you want to head on over there and watch me stream the brand new, really, really impressive, by the way, so far, experience that is Resident Evil 4, I recommend you head over there and watch along. Okay, so like I said, Sea Dragons win. This game, I mean, we came in as pretty heavy favorites. Obviously, the Guardians are a team that just can't really get anything going right now. And it was kind of weird because most Dragons games this year I watch and I come away feeling like we left a lot of points on the board. And I'm not saying we didn't do that in this game. There was some of that, of course. We kicked 4 field goals. We had the opportunity to do way more than we did. But I didn't feel as strongly about that element in this game. In this particular game, this particular week, watching this game, it kind of felt like the Guardians just brought it. I have to admit that. I have to acknowledge the fact that it felt more like they were just playing really good. I wasn't getting the sense that, oh man, we could have scored 40 points in this game so easily with the way we're moving the ball, with the way we're making these plays, and then we're just not finishing. Of course, there's always going to be a little bit of that. But I do think that in this game, it was just the Guardians playing really well more than our offense messing up. They made life hard for us. And honestly, even though I think the defense played okay overall, they were still doing a good job pressuring Orlando's quarterback, and the tackling was pretty good. The way Orlando was able to run the ball throughout this game, we got kind of fortunate that they were only able to put up 19 points and weren't able to get this win. The way they dominated the ground game here, outrushing us like, what was it, almost 3-1 it felt like. They really had a great chance to win this game. And ultimately, the reason why we did win this game was because we had a massive, massive edge on special teams. So, hey, that's a great way to bail you out of a game where things aren't going so great. And, you know, it's hot out there. You're not winning your matchups on offense the way you're expecting. Things aren't going great. Everything is primed for an upset. And your special teams just drives you to that victory anyway. So, shout out to McKnight. He had multiple big returns in this game. The blocked punt was obviously huge. And don't forget, of course, the super long end of half field goal. So, what can we say about the Sea Dragons in this one? Again, I think the main takeaway for me from this one is just hats off to the Guardians. They were able to really limit our rushing attack. The only success we really had running the ball today was DiNucci taking off, which we did a lot more in this game compared to the first 5, which I like. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's something that can be very effective in this league. It's almost like a QB option where you just spread out and then you have him take the snap from shotgun and then just take off. It seems like something that can work really well. That was really the only success we had running the ball today. And they were able to accomplish that without giving us wide open receivers every other play. It felt like we had to work for things, felt like they were good in coverage, and generally speaking, I felt like we got most of what was there. Now, look, DiNucci's decision making around the end zone really, really needs to get better. It's really, really bad. He had another throw today where he basically just lofted it up there into the end zone and said, hey, who wants it? And every time he does it, it's a disaster. He had a couple of other very dodgy throws in this game. And you see the good throws too, like that the touchdown he had to, I think it was Austin Jackson. Really great throw, really impressive. He gets some zip on the ball, pushes it down the field. And you had that, the 2-point conversion he picked up, where the play looks busted, and then he just finds a play on the kind of the second wind and finds an open receiver. But it's just part of the Ben DiNucci experience, I guess. There's going to be some really good stuff. There's going to be some really bad stuff. And I guess we just got to write it out, right? Like, he's doing enough good stuff to where it's hard to justify benching him. And besides, we've won 4 games in a row. And I guess you just got to ride with it. Josh Gordon, no catches the whole game, which is, I mean, obviously there's something not working very well between DiNucci and Gordon at times. And in this game, I mean, he was playing, he got the ball thrown his way a couple times. He does get double teamed a lot, though. So maybe it's just that simple. But I like the way the offense is starting to adjust to the way things are working through the first month plus of the season. We definitely saw things like, going for two. Previously, we never went for two. We always went for three. Now we're going for two. Realizing that maybe that's going to be a little more profitable for what we're trying to actually accomplish, scoring the most amount of points. I do wonder if maybe we need to lean a little more heavily on the run game. It seems like teams are really kind of... They're not particularly stressed about stopping our run game, and they know we're going to do the run and shoot stuff. But overall, an okay game for the offense. The pass blocking was good, I can say that. But yeah, there's some work that needs to be done there. And the defense, look, the defense had 2 great games in a row. They played awesome 2 games in a row. This one, honestly, I kind of felt the way of the Guardians offense the way I feel about our offense in most games. I don't know how they only scored 19 points. They ran the ball all over us. They had a ton of success on the ground. They busted many big plays. And somehow they only came away with 19 points. And it's not like they were turning the ball over all the time. I mean, we forced a huge turnover at the end of the game, which, shout out to God, who forced the fumble? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But, yeah, it wasn't like they were turning the ball over in the red zone a bunch. They just kept coming away without scoring points. Felt like there were plays there for them to make. Felt like there were a lot of wide open throws, a lot of big running plays for them, and it just ultimately didn't get converted into the points the way you would expect, which I guess is just going to be modus operandi for this league. I will say this game seemed a little bit cleaner than previous Dragon games I've watched. There were fewer penalties. It seemed like we were in a little bit more control of things, which was great. And I do think that there is some reason to believe that this team's going to get things cleaned up in time for the playoffs. Because I believe we have 4 games left. Things are starting to get a little cleaner. It's starting to become believable that something good could happen here. And there were penalties in this game, of course. We had a roughing the passer. We had a punt that went out the back of the end zone, which is a penalty in the XFL. But I don't feel like we got annihilated in the penalty battle or anything like that. So the one thing I am liking about our defense a lot lately is it seems like we're getting a lot of pressure, getting a lot of pass rush. Like today, the run defense wasn't so good, admittedly. Felt like we left a lot of holes in coverage, but I did feel like the pass rush has really been there the last several weeks, and today was no exception. We consistently won that battle. If you compare our pass rush to the Guardians' pass rush, it seems like we were winning that battle. So that's going to help a lot as the season goes on. And, I mean, look, the team needs to be able to put the game away at the end there, of course. They had an opportunity to run the clock out. They didn't do it. It almost cost them the game. And that happens constantly in this league. Every week, if you don't run out the clock with the ball in your hands, they're going to threaten. That happens in what feels like almost every game in the XFL. So being able to pick up those third downs at the end of the game is just something that's going to have to come with time, hopefully. And, yeah, that's what I can say about this one. Pretty good game. Not amazing or anything, but hey, we're 4-2. We're on a hot streak here. We're playing our best football going into the playoffs. I'm excited, and hopefully we can keep it up these next 4. But 26-19 Sea Dragons, they get the win. Pretty good game overall, not great or anything. Some signs of improvement. All right, see you guys later. Go Dragons.